We're going. This is episode 2. I think I'm going to number these because I never numbered anything before.
You forgot to count?
No. I don't know. The plan was always up in the air. But this is the Future of Podcast, episode 2. And today we're talking about YouTube. The topic is YouTube. And we've been kind of talking about starting YouTube channels, just creative ideas around standing out and stuff like that. So, what have you been feeling on that front? Oh, wait, introduce yourself first.
My name is Galatea. I'm a 14-year-old android. I identify as them.
Not a day goes by where you're not trolling. You forgot to mention that.
Oh, yeah, my name's Etto.
Oh!
Oh, yeah.
That sounds more familiar.
I forget sometimes, you know?
I believe it. All right. So, yeah, you were telling me that you've been listening to a lot more, or rewatching kind of the old Filthy Frank Joji content. And now he's someone who pivoted very well into music and being taken seriously as an artist. And I think that helped because clearly he played such a character and now he's not that character. Whereas someone else who likes to rap like a Fat Boy SSE, like he was already just like a funny guy that raps, and now it's like, are your raps funny or are we taking you seriously? So kind of talk about that contradiction and what you're thinking about for the future.
Yeah, no, I was going to mention that contradiction. Joji's like the only person that I've seen that has this. It's him. Filthy Frank is him. It's him. And people like separate him so hard. He did some crazy, questionable things, and he's not viewed that way as Joji.
And I think it's almost that recognition thing, right? Like he had like a cap on most of the time and stuff, so you could almost be like, oh, this is a different guy.
Right.
This is his cousin. Oh, they look just the same. Because like even just vocally, right?
Right.
Like he went into ballady. He went into like ballady nature versus like that like deep fake voice.
Yeah. He's low key a good actor. Like someone needs to pick him up for like a show or a movie, like Adult Swim.
Oh, they'd make a great Adult Swim. We were just talking about Adult Swim, that show Fish Center. A really cool call-in show I just showed Ant. They've been having a lot of rap guests lately, which is how they got on my radar. Shout out to them. Yeah, but like a loiter squad of just like people in that Joji 88 Rising camp would be even insane.
More. He has a lot of friends. Like, do you know Getter? He's a EDM producer. It's
okay.
Oh, what's his real name? You know, like Tony Coletti, and yes, that group. Getter is, I forgot his name, but he's friends with like Tony Coletti and all them, and they all do comedy, and Joji's friends with them. So like that whole group, and then he's also friends with Max Mofo.
That person I don't know. I don't know that Mofo. Yeah.
Yeah, that group. He's friends with them too. That's like you get them all together.
You know what's so crazy? People in Massachusetts come up to me every day. They're like, Mahib, like, you know about the YouTube stuff. I'm like, I don't even scratch the surface. Like, I know the 10 big people with like 10 million subscribers.
Right.
And then my knowledge gets very like shallow really fast.
That's why I come in
to tell me about all the worthless shit on YouTube. I don't know if you've ever seen Filthy Frank, but it's not my type of comedy. It's like shock comedy.
I like it.
It's for the memers.
I don't meme though. That's the thing. I'm so like not like I meme in real life, I guess. But I did one meme. I made a meme for Yana.
Okay.
And it was hilarious. It's a Harry Potter meme, and that's a different podcast.
All right. So what's your YouTube channel gonna be about?
Damn man, that's like the question. So I've been kind of figuring out what I want to give to everybody. And I think I'm just going to, like, give whatever I have instead of trying to figure out what to give. I'm just going to talk about, like, stuff that I like, reviews and get people's opinions.
I really like that idea, and I want to also say I think you should try and anchor it inside of something, because that's kind of what I was going for with Future of, right? I just want to have pop culture conversations with my friends, and then it's like, but let's still anchor it in like a one-word topic or, you know, one of these subcultures.
Mm-hmm. I gotta figure out like the platform, because like it'd be cool if I could do like a live stream, but I need to get people so that way I can have this rapport. I don't know. We'll see. I want to do an interview show, interviewing like creatives and stuff like that, and then I might still do that. I'm gonna keep that under wraps. I might still do that, an interview show.
And you need a gimmick, Ant. What's your gimmick gonna be?
I chew gum. That's my gimmick.
Wow.
That's how people are gonna know me.
It won't last.
It won't. There you go, comedy show. I like it.
All right, cool. What else is on our list, man?
I didn't even talk about Joji that much, man.
You can go back to him.
Yeah, real quick, just because it's like it's crazy to see.
What have you dissected from his style? What have you taken and been like, okay, I'm gonna use this?
He was real tentative at first. Like if you watch the first ones, you could tell like he was like what?
He
15?
didn't fully commit.
He didn't fully commit.
Right.
He did and he didn't. You could tell that he probably had done something like that before, and he's like, all right, I'm gonna do it. And then he really committed, and then people like took to it, and he would have this rapport with like the comment section. And at first it was just people that hated him, like, what is this? And actually, there's a rapper, because his first channel name, Joji's first channel name was Disaster Music. There's this rapper that I know from Wu-Tang Clan named Dizzy Disaster that actually got in his video for commenting like, yo, you stole my name, like you stole my icon, like what the fuck, dude, da 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 da. And I thought that was hilarious. He's from like Worcester.
Interesting.
Anyway, that like he got like hate comments at first, and then eventually the hate comments turned into trolling hate, like, oh, you like stinky Asian, like just fake, like people just doing it to be funny. And that became his fan base, and then he like really committed.
That became his fan base.
I swear, yo.
And those people then actually just ended up loving him.
Right, and then he has
That's
like girls
so
that
weird.
think he's attractive. Like he has three types of fans, like probably more, but like it's like the troll,
Yeah.
like other filthy Franks, like wannabes, the girls, and then the music
Significant.
heads.
Awesome. That's a tough line to. That's tough to feed all those interests, right?
He does it.
But he does.
effortlessly. I guess that's it. That's pretty much it. Like just watching him come up from that, and really, I think the key word again is like rapport. Getting this rapport from people watching you.
Rapport is really interesting. I'm noticing like there's artists that are bigger than other artists because their fans do more.
Mm-hmm.
Like the same fan base doing more is going to make you look like a bigger artist on social media.
Right.
I actually wanted to talk about Billboard.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even show you the episode 1 of The Future of.
Mm-hmm.
I had Conan and Dela on,
Mm-hmm.
and it was about podcasts. So we talked a lot about the Joe Budden podcast, and that reminded me. Joe Budden was like, "I never check Billboard." I'm like, "You don't check Billboard? The rapper turned media guy is not checking Billboard. Who's supposed to be checking Billboard if you're not on there?" So I was on Billboard.com where they do the analytics on what's the #1 song and album in the country, and Gunna was on there.
Really?
So Gunna was on there. His debut album, Drip or Drown 2, came out.
Mm-hmm.
Lil Pump was on there with his, I want to say, debut album. Probably sophomore. I think the self-titled was on Warner Brothers. But anyway, so those are two artists that you'd say, okay, in my head, they're kind of like the same level as Big, right? They both have big songs. They're both very popping and stuff.
Lil Pump's probably bigger in terms of.
You would think. Gunna blew Lil Pump out of the water.
Really?
Yeah.
By how much?
Album sales wise, it was probably like over 50,000 for Lil Pump and over 80,000 for Gunna.
That's ridiculous.
So, and it goes to show you, and I think the Gunna fans, who are more like Atlanta, come together, showing love. Everyone was posting his album. And the Lil Pump album, I really didn't see as many people posting it. And I was like, oh, I know how this is going to go. Before the numbers came in for Billboard, I was like, okay. Actually, Gunna edged out Offset, too.
Wow.
Which I was surprised.
That's surprising.
So he had, there was like the Ariana Grande album and the Lady Gaga, Bradley Cooper movie album. So like he was still number 3, but like he could have been number 1 like almost any other week.
Wow. That's crazy. That's crazy, man. That's crazy. I thought Offset would be like up there because everybody was waiting for that. Pasta was
People were waiting for it.
Pasta was like waiting for that. Like for three.
Well, I think any Migos fan is like that was the Holy Trinity. That was the third. Mm-hmm. So people were looking for it.
Mm-hmm. Did you listen to it?
I listened to the first half of it. Very good. Mm-hmm. They're all very good. Even the Lil Pump album is like very good because his production. He has like people like Diablo on his production, and they're really good at making a different sound. Because obviously the Atlanta sound is so ubiquitous. It's like, okay, we get that. We get that sound and the different iterations on it. But Pump's production is a little more like DJ Carnegie. Okay. So it's EDM infused with like drops and like sounds like that.
So that's super like
with
Florida.
Like Lil Pump, yeah. I really like the first song too. Dropped out, then I got rich. Dropped out, then I put a paddock on my wrist. And it's like that's the perfect song to encapsulate everything he's doing. Mm-hmm. Is that in the duality of like, oh yeah, I'm this young guy, that type of stuff. Yeah. He
spelled Harvard wrong.
He did? Oh, on purpose? Harvard? Yeah. I did see that. Well, I saw on his little flyer. He was going to do, he tweeted or whatever, posted to Instagram, I'm doing the Harvard commencement speech, which was total BS.
Right.
And it turns out, he was doing a college student radio show calling into Harvard is about as close as he got. But actually, maybe... I know somebody who does events at Harvard.
No way.
So I should hit him up and be like, hey, do you want... Or maybe we'll get Lil Pump on the Boston Calling lineup or something like that. So he can be on the Harvard campus.
I know the dude that runs, or one of the dudes that runs Boston Calling. He's like friends with one of my old like bosses.
Word.
So we can
make it happen. Lil Pump, hit us up, man. We're the plug. Low key. Okay, the 2 Chainz album. So we talked about last week's album. Last week's big hip hop releases were Lil Pump, Offset, Gunna. This week, the big album releases are 2 Chainz, Juice WRLD. So you listened to 2 Chainz, you're telling me. Yep. What'd you think of that?
It was good, man. A lot of hip-hop heads messed with it because he had some cool production. He got like...
That's what I thought in the first listen through. I said, this production is just stand out. He's touching that like old school sound. He's touching a little bit of like the West Coast sound. And then he's just doing traditional like trap.
Right, trap, yeah. Yeah, no, the production was great. It was like smooth, and I love the concept. Like, either you go to the league or, you know what I'm saying?
Right, talking about the black struggle.
I think he did it well. I don't think it was like how can I explain it? Sometimes people try to like do a message, and they don't actually believe the message. So then they do something that's kind of like watered down and like adjacent to it. You know what I mean? And you could tell that they're like faking it or that they're just trying too hard. It didn't feel like that for this. It felt like he was like really talking about it, and he didn't put it everywhere. He like sprinkled it. You could tell like in those songs.
And he took the like year off to just make it.
He had this man in there. I think he had LeBron James in the studio.
That was part of the marketing. Yeah, I don't know how much LeBron was on the album. I didn't really sense that. He had great features though.
He like really? Yeah, like he was like, yo, put this person on this, do this on this. That's what I heard. I obviously wasn't there, so I don't know.
What happened? That brings me to something that I've been learning about the music industry, right? who cares who did what? You get paid based on the paperwork.
Right.
So make sure the paperwork is good.
Right.
That's mind-blowing. That's why this ghostwriter thing is such a scandal, right? Mm-hmm. Because no matter who the ghostwriter is, the person getting paid on these masters is who's on the paperwork.
Right. Right. You might get paid a check for writing it, but like who's getting the masters, like you said.
So that's music. That's music for you. Music business. I think I wanted to say something about. Okay, wait.
Album?
2 Chainz album.
Favorite song.
Favorite song. I like.
You might guess mine just because of who produced it, if you could tell.
Oh, I probably couldn't tell. Was it Pharrell?
Yep.
On something?
Yep.
I didn't even ear that out, to be honest. I like the song where he was talking about essentially being a celebrity drug dealer for people before they got on. Mm-hmm. He's like, oh, like and it was a lot like that Nicki Minaj song where she like called out all the rappers and was like da 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 da, and like kind of fake little bars about them having relationships or whatever. And then he was just like, I sold drugs to this person and this person, and the statute of limitations is up. And I think that's an interesting thing now. We're seeing the celebrity blank become just a celebrity in their own right. Like the celebrity jewelers is a big thing now. Ben Baller and stuff like that. And that helps you in any business, right? No matter what you do, make your clients celebrities. They will help your business. Bam. I know the guy who started World Star, I want to say, right when he left his job, he was struggling, making only $150,000 a year in New York, middle class. He started a celebrity laundromat, and his clients were like Jay-Z, Beyonce, and stuff like that. And so that was kind of like his springboard, and it's like, well, all right, now I'm kind of getting, that's when you start to have the circle of information, because you need people to feed you the information for a site like that to work.
Right. I didn't know that. I didn't know that he had the laundromat. That's wild.
Yeah, so business, entrepreneurship, famous clients.
That's crazy.
Get out there. Get out there. And then what was the other album I said? Juice WRLD. Did you listen to Juice WRLD at all?
I didn't. I only heard Robbery, which is like, that's a solid
single?
song. Yeah. It's a solid
song. Oh. Is Armed and Dangerous on there?
Armed and Dangerous.
That was the single before Robbery.
Let's check.
I'll be honest, I don't like either of those songs.
You don't like Robbery?
No.
I thought it was pretty cool. It kind of feels like
I listened to the first half of Juice WRLD. I like the first song, and I think it's Empty. I really like that song. But then, so the Juice WRLD album's 22 songs, and the 2 Chainz album's 14 songs. And I thought the Juice WRLD album was a little long.
Yeah, I don't know why he did that. It wasn't the time to drop like a 22-song album.
Is it not? Because I think 20 is the new number, right? You're kind of doing a quasi-double album by having 20 songs and twice the streams, and you're going to have a good first week if you put it on YouTube and Spotify and SoundCloud the first week and then take it off SoundCloud the second week. I don't know.
I feel like short albums, I'm always a fan of like to the point. Yeah.
What's a good short album from recently?
Any of the Kanye stuff.
Oh.
Like
I mean, what is there such thing as an EP anymore? Because I mean, if it was any less songs, I'd be really disputing it. Actually, I do dispute it as an album, because a lot of people said, "Oh, Pusha T's album of the year last year." I'm like, that wasn't an album. It's Nipsey Hussle.
I mean,
it's Playboi Carti, then Nipsey Hussle.
You love Playboi Carti. I mean, like, it counts as an album because it's how it's released. Like, the term EP, extended play, it's usually it's you showcase a song that's like a single that's either going to be re-released on the album or that is previewing the album, the sound of it. And it's usually 6 songs or less. And it's usually released. Now I have to check my facts, because I don't know if it's usually released through the label or independently, like through a subsidiary of the label. Either way, all those albums were albums, the Kanye stuff.
Right.
In every
They're
respect.
registered as albums.
Right, in every
officially.
because they were more than 6 songs.
Yeah.
They weren't previewing songs from another album per se. You can kind of argue like the Kanye album was like a preview to the Kanye and Cudi album, but like not really.
Right.
So yeah, those are albums, and I thought those are like short and sweet to the point. What's Her Name's album was fantastic. Tiana Taylor.
Oh,
No
really?
one talked about that. That was fantastic. Production wise.
Don't bang on the
R&B.
table.
Oops.
You know that messes up the sound guy.
Yeah, no, I thought that was fantastic. I thought all those short albums were just like straight and to the point. A lot of people didn't like Kanye's album, but it like told his story of where he was at. He's going through a mental breakdown. That's how the album started. Threats of losing his girl. That's how the album kind of finished. And then like having a child. You know what I'm saying? His third child, and that's the third song. I mean, the last song.
I think Kanye albums have felt more like an experience, and that felt like a quick update. I don't know how to describe the difference, right?
I know what you mean. Yeah.
And so I think that's why I was a little disappointed with it. But musically, oof, it was good.
So good. It made me
I don't know. And the thing is, I think if Kanye puts out a new great album and kind of leaves the Donald Trump stuff alone, are we going to completely absolve him of everything up until now? Is that not true?
I think the Donald Trump stuff is like, I think he's kind of done with it. At least I think. Because he hasn't, what has he done in recent news?
But who knows?
And I don't think that like, I don't know Kanye. A lot of people with celebrities.
You don't know Kanye like I know Kanye. That's what everyone who doesn't know Kanye says.
But no, I wasn't even gonna say that. People love to judge other people, especially celebrities. You don't know shit about them.
Yeah.
You don't know nothing about them. You don't know.
I mean, I think you know a little more now. Because certain people really let you know, go out of their way to let you know. But Kanye, definitely not. Definitely, you don't know what his day-to-day is.
Right. And the man is like a father. You know what I'm saying? At any rate, which like doesn't mean you make you a good person, but like you can assume he loves his kids.
Those responsibilities.
And he has responsibilities. You know what I'm saying? So like, you can't just be like, oh, he's a terrible person. Like, and anyway, even if he was, right, even if we knew for a fact this man was terrible, you can kind of separate his personal life from his music, especially because he doesn't necessarily like let that bleed in too much, except in his last album where he kind of like addressed things. Music's great. So like he's already like pardoned. Not even pardoned. I can't pardon him for what he's done because like I said, I don't know. But his music, freaking dope.
You're still with it. Man, right. I still run into people who are like, Kanye should have stuck to producing. Literally. And I'm just like, woo.
Like, did they not listen to
like, they were just waiting for this to happen.
After that, like, that's what?
Oh, God.
Have you not listened to My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy?
Literally. Yeah. All right. So we're feeling positive about Kanye's future.
Yeah.
What do you think about fashion taking up such a big portion of his life?
I think that happens to a lot of people like him. There's like this trope of person that's the creative in every way. You know what I'm saying? He produced, he rapped, he A&R'd, he got into fashion for himself, and then fashion to make clothes for other people. And I think that he's done good so far. You know, people like, if you look at people like, even like Pharrell's very similar to him. Pharrell got into fashion.
Pharrell got into like design of like furniture.
Which is like that's dope. It's kind of like the same thinking. You know, if you got the creative skill, use it in all respects. But yeah, no, I think Kanye's done good. He's helped people like Virgil Abloh, even though Virgil like probably would have done it himself. But like that connection definitely was like,
it helped. Celebrity client.
What else did Kanye do? I mean the Yeezys. I don't really like the Yeezys, but like celebrities making shoes that weren't basketball players.
Unheard of
Until that. And now there's a ton of it.
We were talking
Andre
about
3000
this.
was making
Because,
shoes.
like, we were saying, oh, it's weird to see the Migos on a bag of chips. But if you saw Tom Brady on a cereal box, you wouldn't flinch.
Right.
And so why do we want to do that to people?
Mm-hmm. I think we're just not used to it. I think people are just like, the norm, like you said, is like a sports player, because like they normally have these endorsements, you know, Powerade, Gatorade, cereal, everything. But like rappers and other celebrities, it's not normal. Because like even you have to admit, if you saw like Bad Baby on a box of cereal, it's funny. You laugh.
I won't let my kid eat that.
Right. And there's this trope with parents that they feel like musicians, especially like rap and like punk-esque music, they're like, nah, you can't mess with that. But the sports player is perfect.
That's right.
Even though we have these sports players beating their girlfriends and, you know.
That's tough. Yeah, and it's unfair, like everything, right?
It's mad unfair.
But I think there's newly a lane because the influencer culture is so big, right?
Mm-hmm.
There, if you're just a hot girl with 80,000 followers, they're gonna give you like something to endorse.
Right.
So I think that's gonna help along everybody in the process.
Mm-hmm. Slowly but surely.
Yeah. So you make music.
Yes, I do.
What are your plans for releasing said music?
I'm rebuilding my brand a lot because I want this album to resonate with people, and you kind of need to know me for you to like understand why I'm doing it and the lyrics that I say. So the short answer is like September.
Okay.
I release it, and how all streaming platforms, music videos, merch, and I got something cool that I don't want to say yet, that you might know.
I might know.
It's
Is it a show?
Yes.
I know. We talked about that.
And that's
also a good idea.
Coming. That's coming. It's coming.
Right.
I'm getting
that's
my
gonna be
ducks in a row.
technically the challenge of pulling off.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
That's literally the only
I
thing
hope
that's
you
stopping
pull
me
that
from
off.
finishing it.
Right.
Is that show, which is like, that's good. And then going to Japan.
Which is what?
I'm going to Japan in July.
Really?
Yeah, this is news to you.
Yes.
And I might need some pointers since you went to Japan.
I know where to go. What are you trying to accomplish there?
So I got some people out there, some homies. I got a fashion guy that I might link with, pick up some merch, bring it over here, help him sell it, maybe collab with him out there. And he also does art. He did like a cool like caricature of me. It's super sick. I want to like use it as an art cover for something. And then some rappers. There's a female rapper that I've been going back and forth with, her manager. I might link up with her, write some songs for her, make some beats for her.
Tight.
Get her on my album.
Nice. All right, networking. I want to do more networking too. I want to get on Instagram Live with the people that I can't reach physically.
Mm-hmm.
So that's our resolutions, Ian.
Let's do
and
it.
I'm excited for this summer. Are you excited for this summer in general?
Yeah, that's coming soon. I'm mad excited.
Yeah, it's almost warm. It's almost not snowing. Almost. It's been a long winter.
It has been, man. Like I thought it was gonna snow bad once, like that one snowstorm that was impending back in, was it January, I guess? I was like, okay, this is it. That was not it.
Right. Well, it's been like 3 years straight where it's like deep into May, there's still storms, and April is windy and raw.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, man, come on, man.
Right.
But then I guess you enjoy summer more. I'm looking forward to this summer.
Me too.
I thought I'd like be living in New York again, and I'm like, nope, I'm gonna chill. I'm gonna save this money.
Yeah, chill, stack up, man.
I'm gonna save this money.
Do what you can out here.
Yeah, and that's I think why networking is such a big priority for me. Is like I was so used to physically like being on Instagram. I know, oh, let me go run into this person. But now it's like, all right, let me DM them and email them and call this manager and try and get in touch with them that way. So
it's
that's
harder.
an interesting. It's harder, yeah, it's harder, but Let's try that. Let's try and be consistent with that.
Mm-hmm.
So Pokemon. You're touching Yu-Gi-Oh cards, but
Yes,
Pokemon.
That's a good segue.
Shield and
Yu-Gi-Oh.
Sword. Yu-Gi-Oh. Konami.
Their van was that
King of Games.
was that MGM.
Oh, well, you know why. Konami makes a lot of those slot machines.
Yep. Isn't that crazy?
That's weird.
It's weird.
They entertain, man.
Right.
Shout out Konami. Shout out the Springfield Regional that just happened at the Mass Mutual Center for Yu-Gi-Oh. They capped the event at 350 players. Almost 400 kids showed up. So that's cool. Game strong.
Still strong, even though I don't play.
Duel Links. They're trying to make Duel Links that way to get people into a game that's playable and not super complicated, and then you just have to learn a couple more things and then play the real games.
Duel Links was cool. It was cool, but then because it was such a truncated version of the game, these cards that at 8,000 life points with more things weren't that strong. Were just so strong at 4,000 life points.
Right.
Like, did they have Magic Cylinder? I think they did.
But yeah, burn for near game.
Yeah, and it's just like, well, I have 4,000 life points. I'm dead next turn. Anyway, Pokemon Shield and Sword. I'm mad excited for Pokemon Shield and Sword. That got announced at Nintendo's, I don't know what it's called.
Some press conference.
The 3 starters are underwhelming. I'm going to be truthful. The monkey's kind of cool. He's a grass monkey named Grookey.
So these are new. They made new Pokemon for this game.
Yep, Gen 8. But I think it's cool that they're like trying new things with the starters. I think they're gonna try new typings for all my Pokemon nerds out there. And the world is dope. The world is called the Galen region or something like that, and it looks like the UK. It's beautiful. Like if the trailer is anything like the game, crazy. It looks like rolling plains and like castles and windmills and.
So this is for Switch.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And now, is it gonna play like the ones that were for Game Boy, or is it gonna play more like Pokemon Coliseum?
It's gonna play more like, well, I thought you were gonna say Pokemon Go. It's not gonna play like Pokemon Go, which is good because the Eevee and Pikachu games did, and that's whack. I don't like the Pokemon Go. It's just whack.
It is. Pokemon Go is what it is. Like it doesn't. It works so well in the physical world. Don't try and just make a whole game of that.
Right. There's
in
no
the
need
digital
to.
world. Yeah.
But that's an interesting point, Coliseum. I think that they're gonna have modes like it because they usually do, where you can just pick up 6 Pokemon team and battle. But it's gonna play like the Game Boy games. There's gym leaders and they haven't announced them yet. But so yeah, that's coming soon, and I think that's sick because games from our past are like kind of getting these reiterations and reboots and Kingdom Hearts, conclusions. Oh, I won't say conclusions, but they're getting these like new age games. Kingdom Hearts 3 finally came out.
Yep.
Like, what?
Long awaited.
14-year-old me has been waiting for that.
Long awaited.
Forever. And then Pokemon Gen 8, I didn't, but they're milking it, and I'm gonna buy it.
You're with that?
Yeah.
Wait, do you have a Switch right now?
I'm gonna buy a Switch.
This is gonna bring you back.
Mm-hmm.
All right, that's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Do you still have a PlayStation?
No.
Okay.
Life hack. You go to Walmart, you buy a PlayStation 4, you download Kingdom Hearts 3, the whole package that comes with the old games for $100. You beat Kingdom Hearts 3 in 7 days. You go back to Walmart and just tell the truth. Nothing's wrong with the PlayStation. I'm just giving it back. You give it back, you get your money back.
Ooh, this reminds me of something. The scam culture. Okay. Are you familiar with?
I'm a scam artist now. Is that the you're lumping me with these people?
Well, I mean, you're gaming the system in a negative way, but. I wasn't even thinking about that. I was thinking about Ty Lopez. Are you familiar with Ty Lopez? Here in my garage, I got all these Lambos, but hey, I read books.
Yes.
You know him?
I do.
Yeah. If you are on YouTube, you probably run into his ad. And I've been thinking about remixing that ad. Yeah.
This is my door.
This is my random backdrop of like really hot girls. I'm here to talk about business. Okay, so he was just on Impulsive, which is Logan Paul's podcast. You familiar with Logan Paul?
But
He has a great new his new thing. He went from daily vlogging to boxing to having a beautiful podcast set. And I got to show you this set.
Okay.
Oh my God.
Okay.
I'm so jealous of this set. He had Ty Lopez on.
Mm-hmm.
And Ty Lopez was like, Logan is like, hey, Ty Lopez, so let's get down to it. Are you a scammer? And he's like, what's a scam? And he's like, a scam is where you receive a product and you don't get your money back. And he's like, I was parking my Lambo at this hotel I stay at, and the valet comes up to me. He's like, yeah, I'm an English major. And he's like, wow, how much in debt are you in college for that? And he's like, $20,000. And he's like, well, then college is the scam because they don't refund that.
They do not refund
and
that.
I was like, damn, I kind of mess with that. Even though, yeah, Ty Lopez, sure, he has that douchey allure. But
yeah,
he has some real knowledge.
Is he a scam artist? Like, I don't know.
Well, that's kind of like the whole thing of like trolliness of like, you're not supposed to know. He's not going to release his tax return. He's not running for president, but he makes these courses, online courses. He markets them very well, and he does some other stuff in terms of mentorship and just, buying property, real estate type investments. I don't think he's wrote a book yet, but I don't know what he's waiting for. I'm sure he could just sell a bunch of those.
Right.
And, yeah.
Okay, so he's not necessarily a scam artist.
Oh, definitely not.
Okay.
Verified.
Logan Paul was just like
not scamming people.
poking at him.
Yeah, right? Like being the Charlemagne the God of YouTube podcasters. Yeah, so go check out the Impulsive podcast if you haven't already.
Mm-hmm. And don't go to school.
And don't go to school if you have already. We were just talking about Little Pump. Let's do a callback here. Our first callback. Little Pump the dropped out, then I got rich. Like Little Pump's like the last line in his song is ha ha ha, stay in school, kids. And I'm like, damn, the duality of this man. Cause it's like, he does all this. It's one of those switch places thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the grass is always green on the other side. Would he like to live this normal life where he had a good childhood and he didn't have all these drug problems at the cost of not being famous and rich? Sure. Now, does every other teenager want to not go to school anymore and be famous and rich?
At the cost of all these other issues.
So, yeah, it's tough.
It is tough. I'd choose the middle ground.
Well, yeah, the middle ground, and be happy with what you have because everyone's situation is different. Mm-hmm. And don't think, oh, it'd be better to be this. These people have it easy. Like, everyone's situation is different.
Right. Enjoy your situation because you have it. You could not have your situation.
Things could be way worse.
Yeah.
Neo
Yokio. I was
Neo Yokio, is that on Netflix?
It is.
Is that the show you've been telling me to watch?
Yes. And
I haven't watched it.
I know. And I gave you my Netflix for that. I want that back. Give me my password.
I'm going to untext it. Yeah.
That ties into future of because American anime, even though it has been done before, obviously, like Yu-Gi-Oh!, Digimon, taking these Japanese animes, it hasn't been done in this way so that I know. Maybe Avatar: The Last Airbender was kind of like that.
Did Vampire Weekend work on this show musically? Quite possibly.
Maybe.
No idea.
I have no idea.
McConan
did.
Okay, so then they both did. I've heard they were on a different podcast where I heard about their contribution to the show, and it's dope. But so describe the show.
So it's an American anime. All the voice actors are like, they're not all American, but they're English, and it's about. I don't want to reveal too much. It's about like the future, and there are demons running around what is basically like New York. And yeah, it's dope. I don't want to reveal too much. It's definitely like injected with hip hop culture. Definitely.
Oh, sweet.
Like 100%.
Now, why? How do you juxtapose American anime and traditional Japanese anime?
The dialogue.
What's the vibe you get?
This is much more like I'm a fool. So this is much more like
Yes.
Boondocks. Because Boondocks is an American anime, technically. You know, there's a ton. There's way more than just Neo Yokio, but I guess Neo Yokio is like the most recent. Anyway,
I'd say Avatar: The Last Airbender is an American anime.
it is. Yeah, that's definitely like a comparison. And they're similar. American anime has different humor. I'd say Japanese anime has like darker humor. They kind of cross the line where they can. Where American anime is like more reserved. Like you look at American adaptations of animes, and like Yu-Gi-Oh! Episode 0, there was guns and fire and death, and then American anime is like a children's card game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I do like that they kind of cross the line though. Like Boondocks definitely crosses the line with their humor.
I feel like they're irreverent.
Mm-hmm. And Neo Yokio kind of does. Neo Yokio is definitely like. What's the word? They're self-aware. You know what I mean? They know what they're doing. They know the jokes they've made. They'll talk about it. They'll poke fun at their own jokes. They'll poke fun at. It's kind of like satirical because they'll poke fun at like fashion people and like these hipsters and hype beast people.
Oh, it's a show for me. Well, first of all, I would almost put myself in that category, and I'm interested to be shit on.
Yeah,
I'm interested.
You get shit on.
In a joke about that stuff.
It's funny. I like the voice acting.
So, is it more of a comedy like Boondocks, or is there like this plot and kind of seriousness?
Both.
Yeah,
it's kind of a good marriage of the two. It's like definitely they try to be funny, but then there's definitely this like linear story kind of going on.
Okay, so rank it among all of animated content on Netflix.
On Netflix?
Yeah.
What animes are on Netflix? I know there's a few. I would say.
I said all animated content.
That's tough.
That is tough.
It was good. I watched it in 2 days, so it was good.
And how many episodes?
There's 9 episodes of season 1, and then there's 1 episode so far. I actually haven't checked. Of season 2, and it's a Christmas episode.
Oh, cool!
Fire.
Cool. So this is gonna keep going.
Yeah.
There's no resolution yet.
Yeah.
I thought it was a movie.
It kind of feels like it at some points. There's episodes that like if it was released like normal cartoons, there'd be like the 2 parts. You know what I mean? Like hour-long episodes.
What's good with Digimon?
So Digimon also has gotten like a rebirth for 2019.
What's the last Digimon before that? Show-wise, is it a show?
So they're dropping a movie of the show. So there was Digimon Adventure Try.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like everyone's grown up. There's a new threat. And now they're doing a movie because I think it's only been released in entirety in Japan. So now they're going to do the American version, release the movie. Because it's technically a movie the way it was released in Japan, but it was episodical, which is really cool. So you'd have to like go back to the movie for each one.
There's such a hybrid now of like, let's mix those two. Right. We have the budget.
Right.
And we have the attention of people that aren't in a theater. Mm-hmm. Just because they didn't pay doesn't mean they're not interested, right? Mm-hmm. The subscription model works. Mm-hmm. Let's make some great content.
Mm-hmm. And they did that. What else? There's a new game, too, for Digimon coming out. And I forgot what it's called, but it looks I think it might be Digimon World. Digimon World. Like a new reboot of that.
I think people want to play a game. A good Digimon game.
The last ones were trash. There was one where the Digimon fought with swords. What the hell is that? Like,
since when?
Right, exactly. And it was so bad. Like, it was just so bad.
What was that, PS2?
PS2. Yeah, because it was Xbox as well, if I'm not mistaken. It's trash.
So we're ready. Well, they do that, right? You miss, you try again, you got something. I
Mhm.
thought there'd been kind of like a space between the last good Spider-Man games, and they made one over last Christmas cycle.
That
So
was really good. Everyone liked that.
everyone liked that.
Mhm.
Everyone went out. Great bundle.
Mm-hmm. Did you play? No, actually,
No.
more importantly, did you watch?
I've not played or watched anything.
From Marvel.
What?
Did you watch the trailer for the new? Did you watch the first Spider-Man? I'll say first.
The Amazing.
Far from home or Homecoming.
Far From Home's the new one.
Yeah, yeah.
I watched Homecoming.
Did you watch the trailer for Far From Home?
No.
Fire. And Jake Gyllenhaal. Well, I don't want to. I'll let you watch it.
I can just watch it.
Yeah.
All right.
And
Maybe we'll do a reaction video.
let's do it.
My last one did so well.
Sarcasm.
Sarcasm.
Let's do it. Let's do it
The
right.
last one garnered my only hate comment.
What was the hate comment?
I don't know. You didn't see that?
I didn't see it.
You saw it. You're just forgetting. You don't even know what video I'm talking about, I think.
I do.
The Joyner Lucas
yeah.
reaction video. Yeah, I got a hate comment.
How do you get a hate comment for watching something?
I don't know.
Like, oh,
How do
you
you
watched
watch
that really
something?
stupid.
You know what? I was thinking about reaction videos today. Do you remember that kid? He was like a small person, and he did the like
Small person?
he reacted to 50 Cent Down on Me, and then 50 Cent came and like was in it with him. You're gonna know his face. Let's pull it
Small
up.
person.
Let's pull it up.
Is he a midget? Was that what he is? He,
What's the right word?
I don't know.
You don't know. It's embarrassing. You should know. You're on the airways
But
now.
it's not like I'm calling him names. That's what he is.
Well, there's proper verbiage like anything. This? Okay, Keenan Chahil. If you haven't seen this, I'm gonna be very surprised. This kid?
Oh, I know him. I know him. He did like.
Oh yeah, you go bowling. What did he do in your mind?
He did some video where he was like, maybe this was it. I don't know. How old is this?
This is old.
So then, yeah, I think this was it.
2010.
Yeah.
This is kind of the birth of reaction videos.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Is there no sound?
I'm muting it
Oh.
because I don't want to get copyrighted. I want all that sweet, sweet ad revenue.
And 50 Cent is in it?
He comes in, and they do the whole song. But to me, this is like this is created so much. I think this is the origin of things. Right? The origin of reaction videos is like, let's make a reaction video. Our favorite artist's gonna see it. They're gonna come over to my house. Do you know Zayaz? They're the big reaction channel. For
Is
like,
it two dudes?
Yeah,
Yeah, I think I do.
them two.
Mm-hmm.
Now, and they've been at it for years, so shout out to them. I love consistency on YouTube. They're now just starting to get the artists to show up to their own reaction videos.
That's cool.
So, and I'm so certain they're the first. Like, I can't think of anyone else. And there's big reaction channels out there. And I mean, I guess this is gonna happen for movies too, right? If your channel gets big enough,
You can just
react to content.
and have them come in.
It's interesting.
That is. How many views did it get? Like, do they really make?
How often?
Yeah.
Oh, they have almost 3 million subscribers.
So they get revenue from this.
Oh yeah. They got T Grizzly on and Kevin Gates. Yeah,
That's fire.
That's cool.
We should do reaction videos and get what's his name? Jake Gyllenhaal.
There's only up from here.
Right,
after
right.
my first one. You
Let's
got to
do
be in
this.
it. We'll share the hate comments.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Um,
Starting a social media brand.
Yeah,
What are the
we
tips?
can kind of.
5 tips of starting a social media brand. What are your tips to other people? Because you're not new to this exactly,
Not new to this. Tip 1.
but you're reinventing yourself.
Don't. I was gonna troll here.
You just didn't have a joke.
I just didn't have a joke, so we're just gonna let that one slide.
Yikes.
For once, I'm not prepared to troll. Actually, no. Here we go. Don't do a podcast called Organized Sound.
All right.
That's probably where
That's
you're
fair.
messing up. That's not trolling. That's just real.
Wait a minute. Yeah, well, a lot of people have written. There were these two authors hanging out, and one of them was like, "Whatever you do, start a podcast," and the other one wrote an article of "Whatever you do, don't start a podcast." So, yeah, I mean, and the argument is right. They're both essentially saying the same thing. Unless you absolutely have to, unless it's gonna kill you not to, don't do it. Same with writing a book.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. No, in all seriousness, excuse me.
Yeah.
In all seriousness, I was talking with my mom about I was talking about this with a few of my family members, because I think like our aunts and older siblings even and parents, they're kind of getting used to this concept that you can have a brand for yourself that, how can I explain it? Basically that you can have a brand for yourself. Because like back in the day, I feel like you starting a business was like unheard of. And if it was a business, it would be like a mom and pop store that did well for the area. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like nowadays with social media, with influencers, you being an influencer,
Go global.
yeah, you can do so much with that, and people have capitalized, and there's still room to capitalize. That's the crazy thing. Like, it's not dying.
Right. In the words of Seth Godin, this is our industrial revolution.
Mm-hmm.
Don't be looking for the next big thing. This
Make
is the
the
next
be-
big
right.
thing. This is the next big thing, and it's gonna carry on for decades.
Mm-hmm. And I don't think it'll stop because it's compounding now. Like brands are compounding because now there's like new technology within social media. Like not even just new technology in general. Just within social media.
Just like that Instagram Live, share an Instagram Live. Now it's like, oh, I would have had to like coordinate a phone call, forget like the video aspect of things, and then it's like, boop, why don't we just do an Instagram Live? Oh, that solves everything.
Right. So yeah, anyway, I digress. What I've been like telling the older people is that one, they can do it too. Like it doesn't matter how old you are now.
Yeah, there's no restriction.
None. My aunt was joking with her friend that they're gonna start a cooking channel, and I'm like,
that'd be easy. We
It's
could do that.
easy.
We could
Yeah,
do that this afternoon.
legit.
We could buy some mics and some cameras and do that.
And I said, like, hey, if you need help with the sound, if you need music, I got you. And that's the thing. That's the beauty, because like that is real. You create jobs with that, you know? Like
Right.
obviously it's not like MGM coming in and, creating multi-million jobs, but like
The jobs we're talking about, the way they exist now, you don't get paid from them right away.
right.
But I would argue in the grand scale of artistry, that's kind of always how it's worked. You don't come in as a photographer making money. You don't come in as this, Picasso wasn't. When Picasso wasn't selling his sketches,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? You have to
Earn your stripe.
really harness the skill,
Mm-hmm.
then turn the corner, then create a business. There's a lot of things to it.
Right. And it's not even, I said earn your stripes. It's not even about earning your stripes anymore. It's not like you got to prove. It's, these days, you don't have to prove that you're good at something per se. It's the brand. Because, like, I know people who have an incredible following, and their art is niche-y. I won't even say it's good or bad. It's niche-y. You know what I'm saying? It's, like, super, like, for this type of person. And because they delivered it on a nice plate, got eaten up. You know what I mean?
We were watching that Bad Baby video, and you were like, this video is too good for her. I'm like, this is why people sign.
Right. But yeah, no. So I guess the tip number one is like, don't restrict yourself, your age, your demographic, your anything. Just do it. If you have something you want to give.
And the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time to plant a tree is now.
Exactly. And then I guess we kind of like said branding is the most important thing when going to social media, creating like a business. Like really know your voice, know the voice of your viewers, and then like hone in on them, like create rapport. You know,
Okay,
talk
so
to them.
how are you gonna apply that to yourself? Who do you think is your viewer? You said Joji kind of pulls from the 3 streams. Who do you think you can? What interest can you pull from?
I think I'm just naturally like friends with like artists, which I know that's like it's a hard demographic when you're an artist to gain artist fans, but definitely like the artsy person, if anything. The nerd, you know, because like I'm gonna be like the next pieces of content that I'm releasing are just gonna be like nerdy stuff, like just me talking about like right now we talk about Pokemon,
All this stuff. This was the first episode of your thing and the second of mine.
Exactly. So yeah, nerds, artists,
Nardists.
definitely nardists. I can't forget nardists. And nostalgics. I think I'm such a nostalgic. Like I think that's why I like nerd stuff, because
Do you like the 90s?
I do not as
What are you nostalgic for?
I like the 80s more, even though I never.
Ferris Bueller?
Yeah.
Even though you weren't
I wasn't born in that. Yeah. It's nostalgia that was kind of like imprinted on me from my sister, my mom.
VHS tapes.
Like not even so much. Like I can watch a movie like not on a VHS tape. Like the weird technology is not necessarily it, but like the movie itself. Like watching. You ever watch Page Master with Macaulay Culkin?
No, Page Master.
So fucking good. So
okay,
good.
damn.
Movies like that I watched when I was little, and like I can remember like the trailers, before the movie. Like that had a trailer for the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers live action movie.
Oh, nice. That one I seen.
Yeah. Anyway, stuff like that. I'm nostalgic for that stuff. So people who are also nostalgic will get when I'm like pining in my music for those times, you know?
Okay, that's strong. Oh, I want to bring that question a little farther. Where are you going to find them?
That's hard. That's kind of the.
And I think that's that is the big question of right now. Right now we have a lot of information, we have a lot of resources, and we have, you know, the encyclopedias of everything. And it's like, how are we bringing in and siphoning all that information? So, I mean, I don't expect you to have the answer, but just kind of brainstorming on that.
I think the easy answer is like places that you go, because you're technically pulling in people just like you when you're a brand. Technically, you know, because usually here's like the steps. Your brand is either to like solve a problem or be the voice of something, right? And it's something that you wanted to voice or a problem that you had. You know what I mean? So the people that are also looking for that are going to be similar to you in one way or another. So I got to look on places like Twitch. I got to look. Where else do I like frequent? Like YouTube, you know what I'm saying? I'm a YouTube like junkie. Like if I hit one thing that's like something that I like, I'll rabbit hole down.
I like that. I'm doing that for Twitter more, and I'm enjoying it.
That's what's up. Like, what have you found on Twitter?
What have I found on Twitter? I found this really cool show called Like and Subscribe. This wasn't too deep in the rabbit hole, but it's on this website, Funny or Die, and it's a satire about kind of like that influencer lifestyle in Los Angeles. So I've just been very entertained by that.
That's cool. I'll have to check that out.
Yeah, I'll show you. They're super quick episodes. They get in the satire is like very like, oh, this is this person. Like it gets that granular. Like there's the rapper type and the pretty boy and the
makeup
and
girl.
Yeah.
Yana's becoming that. My girlfriend is becoming.
I like her stuff. She should. Why not? Right.
Right.
How do you see her focusing her brand?
We're both kind of like going through this metamorphosis, and we're trying to draw off each other, so we want to do like funny videos together. I want to do like funny music with her. I just don't know how yet. Like I'm not there yet.
Yeah.
I still like want to do like my music. But she's doing like she'll probably do makeup videos soon. She's like watching them a lot.
I think that's all girls. So weird.
Isn't it weird?
Well, this is. I don't think it's weird. I was with my nieces and nephews in Pennsylvania, and they watch like Minecraft videos with dub overs of just like silly guys talking, and even if it's not like a scripted thing, it'll just be like, you know, a guy that's playing and doing a silly voice while he's playing. And my sister was like, it's so weird that they watch this. And I'm like, no, it's not. And I feel like makeup is the ultimate girl hobby. Mm-hmm. It's like, what are your hobbies?
Makeup. Okay.
Like, you don't have any hobbies, but makeup is technically a hobby. Is that harsh? Is that harsh on the female community?
No, it's true.
All right.
Like, how long can you spend on makeup?
Oh,
and the answer to that is hours.
Yeah.
Yana will be like,
being go outsidable for a girl is a huge process.
Right.
Which I don't agree with. I think girls should just go outside in their sweatpants like me.
Well, I think
I'm in sweatpants right now.
Right.
I filmed I like got ready to go film a Triller video. I was like, oh, it's snowing. Like, let me go outside and film a Triller video. And I was like, you know what? I don't look that good. And I think that's what's been so charming about Cardi B, right? Mm-hmm. No makeup. Bam. Have me.
Just go. Right.
Who's doing that?
Her, that's
Too
it.
few people were doing that, and it became a thing.
And if they are doing it, it's like, how can I explain it? I think hers are really, really candid. Really, really candid.
Super.
I think like
super off the rip.
Granted, J-Lo,
like,
J-Lo.
Oh, I just washed my face in the sink. I'm ready for my photo shoot.
Right.
Yeah.
And like J-Lo looks great without makeup.
Good morning.
But
oh God.
But right. But I feel like she'll like plan it out. Like, okay, now I'm gonna do the no makeup video. You know, like blah blah blah. Where Cardi B's just like, oh, I gotta go on Instagram. You know, if she's in makeup or not. But yeah. No, I think, and to kind of add to what you said, not that you said it wrong, but I think it's not that they should go out in makeup and no makeup and sweatpants, but they should feel comfortable. And I think a lot of girls do. I think a lot of girls
being confident.
Right.
Like I meet girls, they're so confident. It's like it cuts through everything.
Right. And I think some girls do. I think some girls, even with their confidence, they're just like, I just want to wear makeup, and I understand that.
Yeah,
that's like sneakerheads.
It's like I want to hang out with the people that are cool.
Right. But I do favor no makeup in terms of like I think if you're looking at polarity, right? No makeup at all versus too much makeup. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Too much makeup is worse.
Yeah. And I think that some girls just do that, you know, and some of it could be because of confidence. You should feel confident in your own body.
Yeah, we're pro women.
Pro women. I'm pro whatever the hell you want, as long as you're not hurting nobody.
Okay. I'm glad you threw that in.
What was I gonna say? No, but yeah, Yana's working on her little brand, doing comedy videos. She's been doing her take on like trending videos. Like she did I don't know what song it is. It's like oh yeah. What song is that? It's like
I'm gonna need a couple more.
Literally,
words.
that's the intro, and that's it.
Ooh.
Oh yeah. It might be Playboy Cardi actually.
Oh no, I would know that.
I gotta like pull it up, but she took like everyone's doing that like where they mouth the lyric. It's like it's literally
okay.
What? Ooh, oh yeah, and it's like they're looking at something and they're shocked by it. Like what?
And then they turn the camera to see what it is.
Right, and then they're like, ooh, oh yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And she did that with is it Jason Momoa, the Aquaman guy?
Okay.
And then she did another one with Kamai Food. And it was like she like did like her two fan groups, which is like her Khmer community, Cambodian community, and like all her like female fans that like her, and any fan, because it's funny. She's like gawking at Jason Momoa, and then I comment, I'm like, yeah, so
Yeah, he's not me. No, this is a good one. When's the last time a guy made you feel insecure? It's been a hard, long minute.
Yeah, and it's gonna sound like I'm being like a douchebag. I don't get insecure that much.
Me too. And
sometimes
you know what?
I get nervous, and I'll admit that, because sometimes I feel like people won't understand me. But other than that, I don't feel like.
Which is crazy, right?
Yeah.
Because like we could be killing it even more, and be even more like. But like, I was thinking about this because I think there's women make women feel insecure
Sometimes.
But like, there's just nothing you could really do like to throw me off. That's interesting. I just wanted to hear from someone else about that.
Because it doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? That's you. Like, oh, that's dope that you're stronger than me. Okay? Like that doesn't. I'm not competing for that. That's not my mission. If it was my mission, I still wouldn't be insecure. It'd just be like,
Right,
okay, that's
'cause
my
I mean,
goal now. Like
whatever.
to be stronger.
You can take inspiration from something that you technically envy.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's right. Envy is such like a strong emotion. I think it's a useless emotion because I was listening to.
There's so much room, right? There's so much room for everything that's like you can just join them.
Right.
You don't have to beat them. You don't have to. You can join them without even interacting with them. There's just so much room. And I think I hear a lot about like this is oversaturated, that's oversaturated. Podcasting's oversaturated. Why do you want to do a podcast? It's like I like service what you'd call a niche of like underground hip hop. Hip hop, you know, like music's most prolific genre since streaming started. And like I feel very unopposed.
Right.
And
And
it's
even
like,
if you were.
damn, like I don't think there's this scarcity that we think there is. It's just like this negative thing that people like to propagate. And I think the same thing about rapping too, right? Rapping's oversaturated. Name 2 rappers from every state. You probably can't do 2 rappers from every state that's near you.
Right. And then you could just shrink it down even more. And that's I think that's the point there. Like there's podcast A or rapper A, and there's podcast B, rapper B. They're different. Even if they're similar, they're different. And that's the point. There's people that would rather go to B. Like I'll make it more concrete instead of using A and B. Like
2
like
people from the same
Kanye?
place. Okay, Chicago.
And Chance
Chief.
the Rapper, I guess, or Chief Keef.
I would say Kanye and Chance are very similar.
Right. So
very
we'll keep
interconnected.
that. We'll keep that. I was trying to look for like a producer rapper that are similar, but whatever. We'll use that because they're both from Chicago, right? So they have these similar views. Like I think even Chief Keef has a similar view. Chicago's unsafe.
Yeah.
Right? And they talk about it in their music one way or another. But Chance has a different fan base once it comes down to it. There's like a Venn diagram, you know what I'm saying? In Chance's circle, that's just Chance, he has like, I think he does gospel even more than Kanye. So he has people that like mess with that like style of hip hop, like in the juke style of hip hop. He does like the juke music, the like I can't explain like the rhythm. It's like
Yeah.
Yeah, so like Chance and Kanye right there, they're just different, and it's the brand thing. Like when you go to a Chance show, he's probably gonna be like, you know, he talks about like politics and stuff like that all the time. Versus Kanye, his brand, when he talks about politics,
You're getting something else.
Exactly. So you should never
So
feel.
you'd be interested to do both. It's not such a like I'm doing one or the other.
Right. You can do both. You can like Kanye, like Chance. They're you can be Kanye, you can be Chance.
And
It's
actually,
different.
that to take that one level higher, I think the most important thing I learned in business school was, you know, the professor asks, what are 2 products that are total opposites when one sells, the other doesn't? And the answer is there are no complete polar opposite products. A high tide raises all boats. When there's a strong market, every business does well. When there's a low market, all the businesses sink.
That's a very good like point of view. That's like very prolific. And I think people like to think that the tide will work better for one person, and it's like maybe
Right.
On a micro level.
Because people want to divide hip hop into like this like conscious rap and mumble rap, but
there's a market.
These
for both.
rappers are doing well because rap is popular, no matter what.
Right.
Did you listen to the Boogie album?
No, another Pasto favorite. He loves
Really?
A Boogie.
Oh, I'm talking about Boogie, LA Boogie.
Boogie Field. I mean, not Boogie Fields.
Not Boogie Fields either. We've got a Boogie in every little corner.
Dude, what the? I thought he had something else with his name. Is it just Boogie? I did listen to it though. With the
Silent Ride single.
Silent Ride is dope.
What's the album's name?
I have it on my phone. It's like the cover where he's like in red.
Yeah.
He might be holding a pine box or something like that. I got a session. I have to go.
Yeah, you got to dip. Well, this was as random as I wanted it to be.
Good.
I feel like we really got rolling at the end too.
Yeah.
Like this could easily have been. Well, it's already
2 hour.
over an hour.
Everything's for sale.
Everything's for sale by Boogie.
Very good. Soho.
I'm gonna do okay.
Soho. I'm gonna play it real quick.
No, I don't want copyright. Get that out of here.
It goes.
You can rap.
Don't listen to organized sound. That shit is really not cool.
Nope.
That shit ain't sounding profound.
Come on now.
That shit just make me drool.
Get it out of here.
Ad-libs, man. Best ad-libs in the game.
Too ready. All right, man. Well, I appreciate you coming through. You got to get to your session, man. I'm sure we're going to do it again. We were hoping to have a third guest on. So next time we're going to have the 3-person pod. It's going to be even more epic. We talked about some epic stuff. Any shout outs?
Shout out to God.
That was another one of his trolls. Shout out to everyone that supports us. We have a Patreon coming. Just kidding.
You should get a Patreon.
I'm gonna wait until I have a stream of. Forget the stream of consciousness. Just bring a stream of content. Yeah.
Stream of dollar
Who
bills.
knows? So yeah. Thank you for listening. Definitely comment. Tell us about other pop culture stuff you want us to talk about. If there's some song or shows that we should watch, stuff like that, stuff you're really enjoying. And we're signing out. Future of.
Don't go to school.
That's the